Welcome to this session with Immeo, called PIMP for Manufacturers, the gateway to becoming digital. And with me here in the studio, I have Aisen, partner of Immeo, and Sivert Bertelsen, the champion of the In-River Hackathon.
Yes.
Simon, could you just give me a few words about Immeo first?
Yes, of course, Mats. Immeo is a digital consultancy focusing on delivering digital solutions that empowers businesses and the people that work within those organizations, the ones who will deliver value through their daily work. And we are about 100 persons working out of Denmark, but we're also doing projects in Sweden, and we have brought some cases with us today to demonstrate a little bit about what we do when it comes to PIMP. PIMP is a key part of our business. We've been working with PIMP projects since we started some 7 years ago, and In-River is a key application to us. We have been an In-River Platinum partner through almost our full existence, and it's a very interesting field for us.
So Sivert, you won the hackathon. Congratulations again.
Yes, thank you very much.
How did that feel?
Well, it felt great. It was nice together with the team to be able to also participate with the In-River partner community to really bring forth some new inspiring ideas, empowering the user. And I think the publishing workflow of the hackathon, which I encourage the audience to watch, will also show, how is this user friendliness empowering of the user? Actually also important in a manufacturing setting. As an important aspect in succeeding with these digitalization transformations.
It's about empowering the user and empowering your customers, I can imagine. So if you're looking at this, we're going to talk about the manufacturing industry and the manufacturing world. If you were to summarize the changes of the manufacturing world, how would you describe that, Simon?
Yes, I think these are exciting times to be a manufacturer. It's, to partly quote Dickens, I would say this is maybe the best of times, the worst of times, because what we are seeing is such a huge transformation or change going on that impacts all manufacturers. And I think what we have witnessed in the past many years now is an effort from leading manufacturers become more and more efficient, and leading manufacturers today are world-class when it comes to really the core manufacturing operating model of sourcing, producing, delivering, control of inventory and invoicing, and all of that can be summarized as the manufacturing model. But what we see now is really impacting manufacturers is the whole change in the online sales model. We see a whole new business model coming to life. We see a change in the marketplace. Marketplaces are appearing in the manufacturing world. And we see that the products are changing. You can say it's no longer just a matter of the product characteristics, it's about selling solutions. So there is a shift going on in which the products are becoming more and more intelligent with the use of data to empower those products. And they are bundled with all types of services to offer new types of business models. And all of that can be, I think, summarized into what Forrester has called Industry 4.0. And we really see that is coming to life in these days. And I think it's really impacting the manufacturing industry to an extent that is really defining who will prevail in this new world and who will not. And we believe and we see PIMP is key to being successful, key to really take an ownership of your product experience and be able really to connect the manufacturing model with a new commercial model. And those who really can do that are the ones who will really be successful over time.
So you can almost quote Darwin as well, the survival of the fittest.
Yes, the one who is the most responsive to change are the one who will survive.
Immeo has an extensive experience working with the manufacturing world, as we will see, because you've brought 4 fantastic cases, and I mean these are 4 of your great customers, and you of course have more. But Sivert, could you tell us a little bit about the first case?
Yes, for the first case, we'll be looking at Alfa Laval. And Alfa Laval is a world-class manufacturing company that has existed for over 100 years. And they have a very complicated data landscape for various reasons. They have a very high focus on the manufacturing quality of the products. The products are very high quality. And what we'll see in the case is how they are using PIM to meet the changing demands of the market in being more application-focused in the way they sort of communicate to the market without losing the focus on quality in the manufacturing.
So let's have a look at the Alfa Laval case.
With a presence in more than 100 countries, Alfa Laval is a leading global provider of first-rate products in the areas of heat transfer, separation, and fluid handling.
It has been a dream in the company when we are discussing master data. One also have to understand that Alfa Laval is a company that consists of many purchased companies. We have bought a lot of companies where they have their product information in one format and another company has the information in another format. And of course that has always been a problem and a challenge for us, and will constantly be, of course. But I think the PIM is a way that we sort of have a focal point, because from PIM and in a way out in our channels it has to look the same. And in previous times, I mean, it's a little bit depending on which products you are buying from us, then we have a different look and feel than another product. At least now we have one look and feel, one way of finding them. That is good. We have an increased efficiency when it comes to information logistics. Our partners are selling our products. Now we can give them the latest and the greatest of the information. And I think also the business units and the sales companies are much more self-sufficient. They can decide ranges. If the market conditions changing, they can change how we go to market, how they find their products. I think we are a much more faster to market when it comes to in certain areas where we have the products, of course. But also what I can see, we have a much faster way to implement new business models. We did a new business model this spring. I think with the speed we did it, it wouldn't be possible without the PIM solution. So I think it's a speed to market with quality is a real important for us going forward. The PIM is an important part in the jigsaw puzzle we are having for our online journey, from awareness to returning customers. Right now we have products in the PIM that hurts when you drop them on your feet. But I think in the future we will have more services and other things. And I think PIM will be a good vehicle for accelerate that business as well. So I think it's here to stay, and we have started the journey and we will continue with it. So I think it has become a valuable asset in our landscape.
A great case from Alfa Laval. Sivert, what are your main learnings from this transition and digital transformation?
Yeah, so at Alfa Laval, historically, there's been a very big focus on the products, and now they're trying to meet the markets with industry applications. And this really requires a big transformation of data. There is a lot of different complexities in the data model that is suited for high-quality manufacturing processes. But these details are not always relevant to the customer, looking at a specific industry application area. So to do this, the industry and product taxonomy is really the backbone of the PIM and the PIM model, which enables the people to sort of work with the product model, making the products appealing to the market.
When you say taxonomy, what do you mean about that?
Well, the taxonomy of products or taxonomy of industry applications is like the taxonomy of life, but for Alfa Laval products and industry applications. So it could be a particular unit within a product family, and that could be a product taxonomy instance. And then in the application area, you maybe have a wastewater treatment or domestic heating. So how do you connect these two worlds, making the customer that is focused on the application which is being used for, connect them to the right product that will solve the issue most effectively. And,
Simon, they mentioned speed to market. How does PIM enable them?
PIM has become a key asset in their whole organization because it owns, you can say, the single source of truth for their commercial offerings. As Sivert said, it has all the insight of how to sell the products and position the products in a specific context. And what we have done is to combine this PIM application, the in-river application, with a Azure architecture or an Azure ecosystem that allows us really to scale all the data that we have within PIM and all the data that we source into PIM. And that allows us to roll out, as it was mentioned, new applications, new services coming from this single source of ownership to market and roll out those application services to the market with a speed they have never seen before. And this allows them really to service their customers with an extent that they haven't been able to deliver before they had PIM as a part of their way of working.
Alfa Laval is a huge organization. How were you able to create this change and do this change in such a large organization?
To do such an ambitious digital transformation in such a large organization, you have to allow some room for experimentation and figuring out some stuff along the way. So we started with...
And then they were fine with letting you experiment?
Well, we started with a narrow end-to-end MVP to sort of show off what can a PIM do in this organization, and then we, tried to win trust in the organization and to build momentum in this way of working. And I think it really connects with the Azure-based landscape and the strategy about going faster to market to also be a bit more agile in the way of working. And of course, this is a challenge for the organization, but it has worked out very well.
And Sivert is mentioning one thing that is very important to that approach, and that is the end-to-end approach from the beginning. So instead of just trying to move some data just a little bit closer to the market, we were taking an end-to-end approach from the very beginning, so we could really visualize from the very beginning of our PIM journey with Alfa Laval how they were able to transform the manufacturing data to become commercial data. And that has been a learning for them ever since. And from that, we have been able to really progress on taking on more and more products and more parts of their business.
So that first proof of concept was crucial.
Yes, it's crucial, but you have many different business units, so you will often end up actually doing MVPs for the different business units to show them that this area that you are very focused on, we actually solved that in a very awesome way, and they'll get inspired and hopefully believe in that the transformation is actually possible.
Do you have to be a large-scale manufacturer to benefit from a digital transformation? What would you say, Simon?
No, not at all. I mean, digital transformation is relevant to all manufacturers, and we have also brought another case with us today from Logstor. They are not the same size manufacturer as Alfa Laval, but they have equal ambitions.
So let's run the Logstor case.
Logstor is the world's leading manufacturer of complete pre-insulated pipe systems for the transportation of gases and liquids to the heating and cooling, oil and gas, marine and industrial sectors in more than 50 countries.
As Logstor has grown in recent years, we've experienced an increased complexity in displaying product information in different channels. And of course, coming from an offline to an online world, it increases the demand for a structured process and ways to maintain information before it's displayed in multiple channels. Now, this is a key differentiator for Logstor to continue to develop solutions, but also to display the right information at the right point in time.
When we started to implement PIM at Logstor, we had two key objectives that we wanted to achieve. One was to create automatic dynamic documentation, and the second one was to be able to handle QR codes on all our products. Being in control of the master data opens up a long range of business opportunities for outputting this information in different channels. The business case behind it is carried by two factors. The internal part, where you gain more internal efficient processes and combined with the external part where you gain much better effectiveness from your clients and customers when they are using the information coming out of the system. Implementing PIM at Logstor would bring a lot to our customers and clients out in the real world where our products are used. It sometimes can be hard to identify our different products. By developing different tools, digital solutions that can empower our customers and clients to do their job better and easier. PIM is a cornerstone for making that happen. Having a future digital roadmap with different tools upcoming to serve our customers, it's very, very important that we can trust that we have a single source of truth where we know our data is updated and always alive. And the cornerstone for that is the PIM system.
Another great customer case. So in this case, this is driven by a specific business case.
Yes, in contrast to Alfa Laval, where they have, you can say, a large defined digital transformation program. At Logstor, they have, as I said, the equal ambitions, but they started the project with a very specific business objective, really to put QR codes on all products and use PIM to enable all their customers to use those QR codes to access, you can say, customer-oriented documentation that would really empower the person using those products and be able to find both, you can say, classic documentation, but also instructions for use on their phone in the actual user situation. And they are using PIM really to build this connectivity that allows them to take all the data that they have in the manufacturing model and to distribute it to customers in a customer-friendly approach. And using PIM for that also opens up really a whole new world of opportunities really to build all kinds of new services to their customers. So for Logstor, PIM is really a key asset in their digitizing program, and they are very, very ambitious going forward really to build customer-oriented solutions.
Sivert, what is key to succeed in these kind of large manufacturing setups?
Yeah, so a key to succeeding in manufacturing setups is understanding the business model and manufacturing processes and the products. So what are in the data model, the equipment dependencies? What are the QR processes that this model supports? And really use that knowledge as a foundation for building the transformation of the data model into the PIM and into the customer-facing data model.
So,
and I just adding to that, I think it's really being able to build that data connectivity that is key to succeed, because it's not just a matter of building a solution that will work temporarily. It's a matter of building solutions that will really enable them to change their offerings to market. And so whenever there is a change in the manufacturing program, it should reflect automatically in their customer offerings. And have that connectivity working smoothly is really key to succeeding.
Yeah.
But how do you then ensure that all of the data is correct?
Well, we have a constant focus on data governance and data insights. So as we start out with the MVP-based approach, we also have a high focus on the data insights. So through Power BI reports and similar functionalities, you're able to get an insight into what are the products that we currently have connected, what is the data quality like, what's the product values, and also what's the organizational ownership of these product values.
And all of this sounds very, very complicated, but it's very, I think, important to emphasize that Logstor were able really to launch their PIM within a span of 6 months from the beginning of the project. They were already rolling out PIM as a part of their way of working.
And I'm guessing that's also part of your agile approach.
Yes, through the agile approach, we're able to break down this big transformation into small, attainable units, so that we can take one small step at a time. And that's really also key to this fast transformation.
So one thing is to optimize your existing business model. How about adding new business models?
That's a good question, Matt. And I think that's what we also talked about in the beginning, that it's not just a matter of becoming more and more efficient. It's also a matter of being responsive to the changes we see in terms of building new types of solutions. But also we see marketplaces are coming to the manufacturing world, and that is calling for whole new ways of taking your offerings to market.
And this is a great segue, because we're going to have a look at the third case that you brought, which is the Vestas case, and the great Danish company.
Vestas design, manufacture, install and service wind turbines across the globe. With more than 140 GW of wind turbines in 85 countries, Vestas have installed more wind power than anyone else.
So Vestas, as many other companies, have a very ambitious digital strategy and ambitions on to further enhance our customer experience and also put efficiency in what we do. And very specifically, we have an e-commerce strategy where we are focusing on selling spare parts for the renewable aftermarket, so to speak. In that process, we have also looked for how we can do that much better. And PIM, or Product Information Management, is an integral part of that. And that's also the reasoning for that we have invested in the PIM. So that has given us some significant control mechanisms. It's given us some significant efficiency gains, where it's less manual than it was before. And then, most importantly, it have made us sure on that what we have online is always the right things, so we can sell whenever we are ready for selling. Our PIM journey started out very much focused on the spare parts, the physical products that we are selling in the aftermarket globally, around the world. The next steps we are taking, and we're already in that, is also to look at what we call services. So it could be services, repairs, inspections, and the like, that we also want to get in a better way out to the market, so we can control what is shown where. So for a strategic point of view, and then here zooming in again on the aftermarket sales processes and that part of our business, the PIM system is really heightening the quality of the products we put to market, because we are in control. We have a single source of truth on what is at any given time published to a given market. So that's one part of it. Then the other part is that we have this initiative with our future marketplace, where it's not just Vestas selling, but all the third-party sellers selling on it. And there we need the PIM system to really be the underlying infrastructure to orchestrate all of these many hundreds of thousands of products, which is a lot more than we have today. So if to nail what is the best part of our PIM system, then it's really getting in control. Having that single source of truth, having that workbench where we can, as a commercial organization, as a digital organization, as a marketing organization, together can collaborate on what products are pushed to market when. And that's just invaluable to have that value extracted from the PIM system.
So I think we all know Vestas as a turbine manufacturer for windmills, but this case is more about the aftermarket.
Yes, it is. And as you say, I think we have all passed large windmills with a Vestas logo on the turbine, and we are familiar with that. But and that's also, you can say, the core manufacturing process at Vestas to produce and deliver these turbines. But buying a turbine is a huge investment on the customer side, and it is very, very important really to get the full benefit from that investment over time. And if there is something wrong or you are missing spare parts, it could actually have a huge impact on the business case financing this windmill turbine. So Vestas is really here investing a lot in becoming also the leader, not only in manufacturing turbines, but also being able to service all of those turbine customers with spare part programs, services that really helps them to get the best out of their investment, and all sort of other products that they can bundle together in aftermarket services. And so they did that from a starting position in their own web shop where you could go in and find all kinds of spare parts and also services relating to whatever turbine you have. And actually Vestas from the beginning made it an open place for not only their own turbines but also competitors' turbines. So if they had lost, you can say, the initial contract, they would be able to win the customer over you can say a longer period of time. And now they have taken that approach really to build something that is very, very interesting, I think. A new marketplace, Covento, which is, you can say, from many aspects, a very, very good idea, because it also empowers the whole green transformation, because it is aimed at becoming financially more efficient to operate a windmill investment or windmill park, because you now have a marketplace really to find the best offering to ensure that you get the total quality out of your investment. And they are using PIM really to ensure that they can also succeed with their product offerings, combining spare part programs with services and all other types of, you can say, product features, and bring those into the marketplace.
I was just about to ask, so how is PIM supporting?
Yes, so through the dynamic nature of the in-river modeling tools, Vestas is really able to model this a relationary thing, connecting the turbines to the services and spare part programs. So they really leverage this part of in-river to do this kind of modeling.
It sounds almost like buying spare parts and creating new marketplaces. It sounds almost like these manufacturers and Vestas are moving more into the B2C space. Is that? Am I wrong, or?
No, I think it's a good way of seeing it, because buying spare parts in the marketplace should be a B2C experience, and so they are focusing a lot on how to ensure that even complex products can be available at an ease from a customer perspective. And this is also what we see as a growing trend in the B2B world. I think it has been coined as industrial consumerism. And I think that's a very interesting approach to it. And I think that's also impacting a lot of the cases that we see. And I think in our last case that we have brought today, this is even more significant.
Yes, we are going to look at the fourth and last case, and this is Demant and Oticon. So let's have a look at this case.
Demant is a world-leading hearing healthcare group with the purpose of creating life-changing differences through hearing health for millions of people across the world.
Today we are a world-leading hearing care company with Oticon as our leading brand. And with the size and the complexity that we have, we are of course looking into also optimizing our digital journey by optimizing our product information management and the systems around it.
Being in control is very important to us since we are a medical company. So we are under a number of regulations, and therefore we need to know exactly what product information is exposed in all of the different touch points in all of the different markets. Communication is hard, and the PIM solution actually gives us a natural starting point for a common language when talking about product information and products as such. So product specialists have one way of defining a product, and marketing people have another way. And the PIM solution kind of connects these two and enables them to work together and interact. And that's extremely valuable for an efficient process.
Implementing PIM is a change process in the organization, and especially in an organization like ours. You need to get people on board. You need to let people see the value of implementing PIM. Why are we doing this? What's the value of it?
One of the key learnings has definitely been how much time we previously wasted on physical alignment and through emails and physical meetings, because now we have everything in one place. And it just magically appears in the system when a user puts it in.
Going forward, we see PIM as our strategic solution for distributing product information. And it's, as I see it, a very strong solution we have now. It's founded in the right way, and we can use that for all kinds of different touch points going forward.
Very interesting to see the Oticon case, and this is really about a manufacturer taking ownership, right?
Yeah, and I've been working closely with Oticon for 6 years now, and they were actually also the customer of the year, the in-river customer of the year at the last physical PIMpoint. And but it really tells how much they have invested into taking this strategic ownership of how to experience their product, because the product is based on a very, very complex configurational model. And what we're doing with PIM is that we have built what we call partial configurations inside PIM, and that allows Oticon to take ownership of all key decision steps in the process of configuring a product. So they can, within PIM, build the right information that really supports the user when they are configuring this particular product. Remember, you can fit this hearing aid so it fits your specific hearing issue, and it fits your specific down to what your ear looks like. So all of these decision points are supported by rich information. So they're really taking an ownership of how you experience your product, and all of that information is residing within PIM as the single source of truth.
And how is this then impacting their customer journey?
It is key to their customer journey because they have built PIM as this single source of truth, as they also say, and they are using a rich information model that allows them to use PIM and really connect all types of assets, all types of technical information, and use that so they can support a model of information that is suited for the early investigation into acquiring a hearing aid, through visiting a hearing center to really get the right information on what particular hearing aid is fitting me. And you can also, from the same information model, also build instructions for you. So once you have acquired your hearing aid, you will also get information about how to use it. And all of that information is coming from the same PIM. It's the same information, it's just used for different touch points through the full customer journey, which really allows Oticon to build an ownership using their PIM on how customers are experiencing Oticon products.
I think we've seen 4 fantastic cases, and we've discussed that here, and I think it's no secret that they are well served with PIM. How would you see?
Well, for all these 4 customer cases, it's the case that the PIM is really a cloud-based system landscape using both Azure and InRiver. So InRiver really supplies the good experience for the editors, while some cloud services supply scalability in data and throughput. And also, this is really made possible by the connectivity model of InRiver, allowing you to plug and play different cloud services together with the InRiver platform.
So if we were to conclude, we've talked about manufacturers and how they benefit with PIM and going through the digital transformation. Are there any final recommendations?
I think all 4 cases have specific recommendations on how you can actually use PIM and how important PIM is to your business as a manufacturer. And I think it all comes down to, you can say, having a clear strategy of connecting the model that you see in your new growing digital landscape, how you commercially go to market, and ensure that that is connected to how you operate in your manufacturing model. And if you are not ensuring that you have the full connectivity, you cannot really do this. And the approach to do this is really looking at this from an end-to-end perspective from the beginning. Don't try to sub-optimize things. You will fall short in the long run, but build from an end-to-end perspective and really use what InRiver is very, very good at, really connecting all of these complex operations.
Thank you so much, Sivert. Thank you so much, Simon, for being here and being part of PIMpoint Digital.
It was a pleasure being here, Mats, and good luck to you with the rest of the conference.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.